Hey there, guys. It's Luke. How you guys doing? Appreciate all of you for joining me today. Today's going to be a good webinar. I'm excited to be with you all here. Mario, Nat, Ole, Raphael. What's up, guys? How you doing? Appreciate you joining me here. Today's webinar is going to be about just ask me anything. So we'll dive in here in just about a few minutes, but the webinar is just going to be ask me anything. So anything that you have questions on relating just anything to do with your restaurant at all, but also anything that you have questions on relating to the trainings and the strategies that we are teaching here as well. So be here to answer anything, guys. If you guys could just go in the chat with me here. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what you're working on here. Appreciate you all being here today. Today's gonna be a good one. Last week we had a really nice webinar. The week before that, Abraham as well came on, and Abraham has not even a restaurant. Abraham has a food cart, like a food cart down in Mexico, and he said that he's gotten crazy results. Abraham's food cart in Mexico is not even a restaurant. It's just like it's like a 5 by 5 foot food cart. And he said that he had a 30% increase in sales, 90 5-star reviews. So his reviews on Google now are 4.9 stars. He had 4,000 leads and 130 customers from only about $300 in ad spend. So crazy results for Abraham. I'm super, super pumped up for him. You can actually go on our Instagram page, and we posted the video of him showing what he's doing. So if anybody needs any sort of motivation or a little bit of boost of excitement, Abraham is following exactly what we're teaching and has implemented it all really, really well. Was thinking I should even hire Abraham to be on our team. Just kidding. But he's doing really well. So super cool stuff. Raphael's got a question. Where can we have access of these recordings? Raphael, in the email that you should have received after you signed up for this, you should have a document with all of the recordings. I will send you this right now in the chat box, guys, just in case you guys don't have it. I put in the chat box below where you can go ahead and access all those prior recordings. So we'll let everybody join here a few minutes. Mario, Javier, what's up, guys? Welcome in. Thanks for joining. Guys, today is going to be an Ask Me Anything. So I'd love everybody to participate. Anything you're stuck on, it can be related to the strategies that we teach, can be related to anything in your restaurant at all. Let's see if I can help you guys. And for all of you on the call here as well, this can kind of be like a mastermind, right? So for all of you on the call here as well, if you have any thoughts, any tips that you have for any of the questions coming on in, please chime in. Feel free to put in the chat box below. Feel free to even ask me to get off of mute, and I can actually have you speak. So today is going to be like a group ask me anything type of thing. I'm going to write some stuff down, and anything, any problems, any issues, any frustrations that you have going on in your restaurant right now, let's talk about them and let's see if we can help each other out. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen. I'm going to share my screen with you guys right here. And I want everybody to take the next 2 minutes. And guys, everybody go in the chat box below and just let me know what questions you have. What are you running into? Take about 2 minutes right now and just go in the chat box below. I'm going to start writing down some of the things here that you can start doing. Okay, so take 2 minutes, go in the chat box. I'm going to write down some of the answers and some of the questions here. All right. So I've got a question coming in from Paul. Paul's asking about how to get more reviews. Abraham had an awesome thing there, how to get more reviews. Okay, how to prevent, Rafael, I got it. Well, how to prevent customers from using offers more than once. Rafael, I'll definitely go ahead and cover that. A question coming in here from Antonio, asking about frequency, how often to send messages. We got a question from, let's see, Mohammed here around how to track ROI in short term and long term. Andrew's asking how to start with your lessons step by step. How do we start? Andrew, I got it. Thank you. What would okay, perfect. Rafael, I got that. Good question there, Anna. How to not waste money on labor. Javier saying, I'm just going to copy and paste this, Javier. All right, guys. So we've got a bunch of questions coming in here, and I'm going to go ahead and address these step by step. And if you have more questions, please feel free to put them in the chat box. I will be adding to the list as we go here. So here's a couple questions that we have coming on in. How to get more reviews for my restaurant. How to prevent customers from using offers more than once. Question coming in here saying, how often to send messages for my restaurant? Question coming in around how to track ROI in the short term and long term for your restaurant. How to start with the lessons. Well, this is a really good one. For your restaurant, common question we get is, what pillars should you have on your website? Right? For your restaurant, what things should you have on your website that makes it set up for conversions? You want to set your restaurant's website up for conversions. We'll cover some of that here. Now, the best way to schedule staff at your restaurant so you don't waste money on labor. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and dive into these one by one. Number one is how to get more reviews. So this is a really great thing that Abraham had success with. Abraham had got a bunch of reviews for his Google page. And as we all know, like, getting good reviews is hugely important. It's like free marketing, right? People look at reviews. That stuff really matters a ton. So I actually did a webinar recording of this as well. Where the heck is it? Let's see, right here. How to get more 5-star reviews. So for anybody who's new to these webinars and who has not watched this webinar yet, this is going to be a really important one for you to watch. So there's a lot of ways you can get reviews for your restaurant, but one of the easiest ways to get reviews is just by having staff ask for the review and having a QR code that the customer can easily scan so that there's no friction. For example, if the restaurant staff maybe is incentivized by the owner to get reviews, you can have contests with your staff. So let's say you maybe, the winner of the contest gets $100 gift card or something like that, right? Whatever you want to do at your restaurant and incentivize your staff, your staff better than I do. So give your staff some sort of incentive or some sort of prize. And let's say over the month, whoever gets the most reviews, they win that prize. And so what I would recommend is a couple things you can do. This is happening inside your restaurant. Okay, this is happening inside your restaurant. How to get more reviews. So number one is print off a QR code. Print off a QR code, and you want to have that. All your staff should have a QR code with them. Okay, and there's a lot of QR codes you can, QR code softwares you can use, even Apple phones, or there's a lot of free softwares out there. I actually use QR Code Studio. Doesn't matter what you use at all, but just use a QR code generator and then go ahead and type in your restaurant name here on Google. And then this is a little hack. When you're logged in here on Google, on your page down here by reviews, you should see where it says get more reviews. And when you click that, there's a specific link that Google will give you that you can share with your customers. And this review link right here, I'll show you what this does. This review link right here prompts people right away with no friction to leave a review. We need to remember that you want to remove all friction from people's days because human beings are lazy. And so at your restaurant, if you want to get more reviews, you can follow this technique. So there's a couple things your staff can do. Number one, your staff can just ask people, just simply ask. If they can tell that the party had a good experience that day, just ask, hey, would you guys mind leaving me a review? You can just scan this QR code, leave me a review, and make sure your staff tells the customer to mention the staff's name. The guest can leave a review saying, Jennifer was so great today. Jim was such a great waiter today. Something like that, so that you can measure who's getting reviews for the contest. They have to mention that server's name. Okay. So this actually happened to me as well. I was in Vegas a couple months ago for a boxing match, and I had a couple tequilas the night before, wasn't feeling the greatest in the morning. And so I went to one of those IV stations. And at the IV station, they put the IV in you, get rehydrated, feel a lot better. And the person who was administrating the IV asked me, hey, we'll give you, free vitamins, there's B12 vitamins or something, if you leave us a Google review. And I said, heck yeah, I'll do that. And they had a QR code that I could scan. I scanned the QR code within 3 seconds. I left them a review, boom, got some free vitamins into the veins. So that's just an example of how this is used in other businesses, but have that at your restaurant as well. So your staff can just simply ask people for the review, or they could incentivize them, right? So they could say, hey, if you leave me a review, I'll give you guys a free dessert, right? So trading that free dessert for an honest review is a great way to get more reviews. If you're not over 4.7 stars, there's a lot of customers that don't visit because of that reason. So if you're at 4.7, 4.8, 4.9, that's really, really good. 4.6 is pretty good too. But if you're under that, use this technique to get over that. Okay. And again, I went into a lot more detail of how to do that here in this training right here, get more 5-star reviews. And you don't have to do this forever, right? You can do this forever, but even if you just do it for a month or two, or maybe you do it for a quarter to really boost up those reviews, that'll definitely help. Okay. So that's what I would recommend, how to get more reviews for the restaurant. Okay. Let's go on to the next one. Let me see here. Raphael is asking how to prevent customers from using the offers more than once. Raphael, there's a couple different ways you can do this. Okay. Couple different ways you can do this. In general, every business owner is different. So we have some clients who are like, I don't care if they use it more than once because they're coming back, they're probably bringing friends with them, and they're spending money regardless. So you're always covering your cost of the free item. Some of our clients are like, I don't care if they do that, because they know that most people won't. You might have 1 or 2% of people who try to abuse things. That's pretty normal, but it shouldn't have a huge impact on your business. So you can let it go if you want. That's one option. The other option is you can, in your ManyChat flow, you can add 2 things. You can add a tag and you can add a condition, a tag and a condition. And so in ManyChat, you're able to basically, if someone enters the correct code, they redeem, ManyChat will know that that person redeemed, right? And so if they try to redeem again, based on the condition of if then, have they redeemed, have they not redeemed? If they have redeemed, instead of giving them like the offer success message, in ManyChat, you can give them like an error message. Oops, you've already redeemed that, right? And the staff could then see that big red image or big red text on the phone that, hey, this offer's already been redeemed. That's one way you could do it. The other way you could do it is by asking for the phone number. So Raphael, at the point of sale right now, when customers are coming in, they're redeeming offers with you. We call these offers. We like to not use the word discount or coupon. Just an FYI, we use the word offer. It sounds better. And it's better with staff. It's not cheap, right? It's an offer, special offer. So I'd recommend calling it that. But you can also use phone numbers. So for example, when someone comes in to redeem the offer, to validate it, you can ask for their phone number and say, cool, what's your phone number? And then maybe your staff can plug that in to like a Google sheet or something, like an Excel sheet, right? And or maybe it's an online form on their phone. You can build simple forms like this. And so every time you have people coming on in, you're entering the person's phone number. And if there's a duplicate, well, you know that person already redeemed. And you can say, oh, I see your number's already here. Looks like you already redeemed this. So it depends on how you want to do it in your operation, but there's a couple different ways you can go about it. Raphael, does that help? Does that help answer your question? I want to make sure I'm doing you right here. Raphael's asking, okay, perfect. Do we run the special offers with end dates? You can. As a default for our clients, we don't have an end date on the offers. Reason is, this is where a lot of people make the mistake. A lot of marketers think that they need to like run a campaign for 2 months, stop the campaign, run another one, run another one, right? That's not always the best way to do it. I actually made this mistake early on in my career as well. I'd run a campaign, turn it off, run a different campaign, turn it off, right? For your restaurant, if you've got a campaign that's performing, don't ever turn it off. Don't have an end date, right? Have an indefinite end date, so it never ends. That way, it's like you're building a rocket ship, and if this thing is going and is producing and it's ROI positive, don't touch it. I have ads for our company that we've been running for the past 18 months. Haven't touched it at all. It just keeps booking calls for us. So that's what I'd recommend is, if it's working, don't touch it. But if you can, if you want to have an end date, you can. But what might happen is you're going to start turning off winners and you're going to launch losers, right? So it's just going to be hit and miss. I would recommend keep the campaign running. And then if you want to run like a limited time offer, also run a different one that has an end date. But don't turn something off if it's performing. I made that huge mistake myself. This one time I was actually on vacation with my dad going hunting, and we just stopped some campaigns and launched this big new campaign. And the campaigns before that turned off were performing really well. And we launched a new campaign and it totally tanked. And I'm like, what the heck? Our sales team doesn't have any calls now. The whole weekend I'm thinking in the back of my head, how am I going to fix this when I'm supposed to be enjoying the weekend with my father? So I learned the hard way, but if you have something running, don't turn it off. Just launch another campaign on top of that, right? And then if that campaign works well, if it works better, then you can turn the first one off, but don't turn it off to launch a new one. Yeah, so you can learn the hard way like I did, or you can just learn from my experience and apply it at your restaurant. So hope that helps. Yeah, you're very welcome. Perfect. Let's go to the next one. How often to send messages? This is totally custom. Like, how often should your restaurant send messages? How often should you send emails and text messages? For our clients, we recommend once a week. It just depends on your restaurant. Don't annoy people every day, but keep in touch with them, right? Communicate with them, make it personal, make it funny. Tell them about your new menu items. Tell them about you're selling gift cards for Christmas time. There's things you can do so that people want to receive your messages. It's not spam. So I would recommend once a week. The more messages you send, the better usually. You're not going to ever lose money from communicating with people. That's for sure. So I would say on average once a week. How to track ROI in the short term and the long term. Well, you guys all know how to track ROI from our techniques. If you guys don't know how to do that, I definitely recommend starting this. If you're new to the webinars, definitely watch this one first. Okay, watch that first. And then how do you track the long-term ROI? Well, it's a really good question. So when you're tracking long-term ROI for your restaurant, you can do estimates or you can do exact. So in your point of sale, you should be able to track how many times that credit card was swiped, or how many times that person, if they signed up for loyalty, how many times they came in. So if you know that you acquired that customer through ads, and then you can tell on your point of sale that they visited over and over and over and over again, and oh my gosh, their lifetime spend is $3,000 and their annual spend is $6,000, and their annual spend is $400, then you can do really nice ROI calculations based on long term. So that's how you measure in the short term and long term. With our clients, if we don't have a way to measure exact ROI in the long term because their point of sale maybe doesn't have as many features, we can use estimates. We can say if one out of four people who visit become loyal and regular, this is the amount of revenue that's going to be coming in that year. This is the amount of revenue that's going to be coming in over that 6-year lifetime. So just depends on how you want to measure it. There's a lot of ways to do it. Andrew is asking how to start with the lessons step by step. Where do we start? And how often do we want to make offers? Andrew, really good question. If you're new to the webinars, honestly, I would kind of go in order here. It depends on what you need at your restaurant though, right? So like these are not in any particular order. You can go ahead and see by the titles what might be most relevant to you right now. But if you don't have anything, just go in order. Andrew, I hope that answers your question. Okay, let me see here. More questions coming in. Oh yeah, Andrew was asking how often do we make offers? Andrew, so the offers that we run, let me just explain this from a high level. When you run ads for your restaurant, it's really hard to oversaturate your market because most of the people who are seeing your ads, they don't even really know that they're seeing your ads, right? There's a saying in marketing where people have to see your ads 7 times before they even know that they saw it. So don't worry about oversaturating people. You can keep these ads running indefinitely. Don't have an end date until you see that the rate of visits is decreasing. It's possible that after a year, 2 years of running that same offer that it might decrease, but don't trick yourself into thinking that you need to change something because you might not need to. So I would say have the offers running indefinite, and it can be a one-time thing. It can be a one-time offer. So to you, it might look a little repetitive. Like I'm always running this offer. It's always running. It's always happening. But to the end user, even if you've been running it for 8 months, it might be the first time their brain picks it up and they realize that this is a special offer. And they realize that they see your restaurant and they come on in to see you. So always keep it running as long as you can. That way it's less work for you. It's better results for you. and then you can focus on other parts of your business as well. It's kind of like building a ship and then riding the wave as long as you can, right? You're not going to build a ship for a week and then build a new ship. You want to ride that thing as long as you can. So kind of a silly analogy, but it makes sense. Okay, let's see. Raphael is asking, in one of the classes, you mentioned that most restaurants don't have a website optimized for conversion. What would be the pillars of a good website? Raphael, great question. So for restaurants, websites that are simple usually perform a lot better than having some complex things. So in my trainings here, I actually recorded a video here somewhat recently, right here, actually, Raphael, how to format a restaurant's website. So if you look at our website, you can kind of copy and mimic what we have because it's set up for conversions. We spend millions of dollars on our own advertising. So millions of eyeballs, millions of people are hitting our website. So you can know that I'm not just saying this because I think this is true. I'm saying this because I know this is true through experience. Don't take advice from people who have never done that before, right? And I don't say that to brag or to boast, but like that's what we find to be the most effective. Now, this is a general rule of thumb, right? There's always exceptions to the rule. Everybody's going to have their own experience. But what I find that works the best is very simple, right? In this webinar training, you'll see that I would recommend your website have a big call to action at the top, right? A big call to action. Maybe it's one sentence. It's like an elevator pitch of what your restaurant is all about. It's a nice big video, and then it's a call to action button. So those three things is what you want. Elevator pitch, video, button. The button could be call. The button could be get directions. The button could be order online. It could be a lot of those things, right? So I go into a lot of details here in this webinar. I'd highly recommend checking that out. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. The next question coming in is the best way to schedule staff so you don't waste money on labor. It's a great question. So for your restaurant, the best way to optimize your restaurant's profit margins, I guess I should say one of the best ways to optimize your restaurant's profit margins is to schedule staff properly, right? You want to make sure that you're not overstaffed. You want to make sure you're not understaffed. And so we did a training with one of our special guests, Andrew Scott, and he talked a lot about this. And so I'll actually make sure that I have that webinar link in here. If I don't, I will make sure that you get that. And I believe that is right in here. So this link right here, reduce prime costs with special guest Andrew Scott. I believe in this link right here, Andrew Scott also talks about scheduling and how to make sure that you're saving money by not being overstaffed. That's a great question. Javier is asking, I noticed this month my redemptions from geo-targeted campaign haven't changed much. Last month was fine, but not this one. August is a slow month from my market. What can I do to increase my sales? Alrighty. Well, Javier, we can unpack this question in a few ways. So my first question for you, Javier, is, and if you want to talk, just let me know. I can actually unmute you and you can talk with me. Let me know if you want me to do that. So my first question is, have your redemptions per month stayed the same? Like, for example, last month you got 100, this month you got 100, or are the redemptions going down? If you could let me know that question, that's going to help me figure out what to do next. But if you're looking for ways to increase your sale, excuse me, if you're looking for ways to increase your sales, follow the restaurant Wheel of Fortune. Okay, Javier, it says they're getting down. Yeah, Javier, so from 9% down to 4%. Yeah, Javier, I think like if your redemptions are decreasing, there could be a lot of reasons for that. Javier, I would ask you, like you mentioned that your market is slow in August. What are the reasons the market is slow? Like, what is going on in your market? Like, what do you think is happening? And let me know if you want me to get you on, if you want me to have you speak, because we can have a back and forth conversation right now if you want, or keep chatting with me in the chat box. Either way is good. What I would say is be careful around looking at just the month by month numbers, because business is a long-term game. Javier, I'm going to go ahead and allow you to talk. Hold on a second here. Hey, Javier, you are now live. How you doing?
Hi, Luke. How are you?
I'm doing well, my friend. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
So, yeah, why do you think the sales are down?
I think in this month here in Guatemala, we have to pay an extra month for school. So I think people have this extra payment to do this time of the year. And last month was a good month for economy in Guatemala. So the trend is that on August is always slow.
Okay. Interesting. And it's because there's an extra month of school, so people have to pay for that.
Yeah.
Got it. Interesting. Anything else, or is that the main thing?
I think that's the main thing. Maybe because of rain too. This time of the year is raining a lot, so people are not willing to go out of their homes.
Sure. What are your sales? What's the percentage? What percentage of sales are you down compared to last month, or like compared to on average? How much are you down? What percentage?
Okay, right now we are having elections here in Guatemala on this month, so I think in this year I think it's going to make it more difficult for us to sell, because everyone is thinking about the elections. Everyone is talking about the new president, who's going to be the next president of Guatemala. Yep. So what was the question? Sorry.
I was just curious how
much,
like, what percentage are you down? 10% compared to last month, 20%, 50%?
From last month, I think it's like a 15%.
15% down. Okay. And what is it usually? So last year from July to August, how much were you down then?
It was about the same.
Same. Okay. Interesting. Okay. And have you been using your database that you've collected to send out messages?
Yes, I'm sending WhatsApps.
Yeah.
I'm sending emails too.
Okay.
But I think my problem right now is that I'm only sending like 1 or 2 WhatsApps per month.
Okay.
Maybe 1 email per month. So
yeah,
I think I have to increase that quantity.
Yep. Are you doing any Facebook Messenger messages?
Yes. No, I'm just using the Facebook Messenger for WhatsApps, not for ads.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense. And how many contacts do you have? How many leads do you have in your database?
In my database, I have like 40,000. I think I have like 30,000 phone numbers, like 30,000 emails. And right now in ManyChat, I have like 4,000 subscribers.
Okay, perfect. And are you getting those subscribers to opt in to your weekly messaging list?
Yes.
Nice. Perfect. Okay. Here's what I would say. If you're only sending maybe 1 to 2 messages per month, I would say send more messages. And you can make those messages specific to what's going on in the country right now, right? Because a lot of times if you send messages that are relevant and they're timely, like if you sent a message about back to school right? Or going to school. I'm not sure if it's back to school, if it's still in
No,
school.
it's just an extra payment we have to do here.
Okay, extra payment. Are the kids in school?
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe you make a special, right? Maybe you make a special around that situation. If people are making extra payments to pay for school, then maybe you make some special around that. And it could be like the school special or something where maybe you have like a family meal bundle where you can offer maybe some like a special price thing where they get a few menu items, maybe appetizers, sides, and drinks and full meals for families. And you can price it in a way that it seems like a really good deal, but still profitable for you.
Okay.
So I don't know the specifics of like what type of special you'd run, but I think like if you can send a message about a school special, like, hey, we know you're making extra payments, here's a special offer because of that reason. Or same thing with elections. Maybe you make some sort of I'm just getting creative. You could just say something about the elections, where if people are maybe they're watching the elections on TV or something, that they should order food so that they can watch that stuff. Or I know in the US here in the 2020 elections, which was crazy, some of our clients, they did like contests. So like if you want a certain candidate, so there's two candidates, if you want one candidate to win, and like that candidate would represent like a certain menu item, and the other candidate would represent a different menu item. So it's like, if you want to vote for candidate one, then order this. If you want to vote for candidate number two, then order this one. And then maybe over the course of a week, you can actually like let people know about the results and based on how many orders came in for those specific items.
Like a restaurant poll.
Exactly, like a restaurant poll. Yep.
Okay. And do you think it's a good idea to have how many special offers do I have to have in my restaurant at the same time? Because sometimes I think I have to have one for families, one for maybe couples, and
Yep.
one for business, for like just lunch.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's good to have 3 special offers at the same time.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say it's okay to have as many that are working, right? If they're all working, then keep them all on. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I would do something like that. The main, like, to summarize, the main thing is use your databases, because you've got a lot of people in your list. And so if the restaurant sales are down, the databases is something you can lean on to try to get those sales numbers up. But think about it like an insurance policy, or kind of like a hedge. You can use that list. And so you've got the Facebook Messenger contacts, you've got the emails. For the SMS, definitely recommend using SMS if you can. Just a heads up on SMS. You want to look at what the cost is going to be for SMS, because in some countries it can be very expensive to send SMS messages.
That's why I use WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Because WhatsApp, I pay like $45 per month.
Yeah.
And SMS, I think it's like 35 cents per message.
Per message, yeah. So it would be a lot. Mm-hmm. What platform do you use for WhatsApp?
I'm using Go High Level.
Oh, perfect.
Yep. And I pay for an add-on. I don't remember.
I think it's called App Level,
App
right?
Level.
App Level, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm using.
Nice. Okay, great. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Keep doing that. I would say definitely do that, and then use your email and your Facebook Messenger list more. I would send one message a week.
Okay. Perfect.
And they don't always have to be about anything special either. It can just be like a simple reminder.
Okay. And should I spend Facebook ads on these special offers, or you think it's just a good idea to use my database?
I would use your data. I mean, you can always try it, right? The only way you're really going to know is if you try it.
Okay.
But I think it's a good idea to try. It's very unique, right? It's very unique. You could build a lot of buzz doing it. But you can have those special offers running that we teach, just the simple special offers, and then use the database for any like additional follow-up messages. But you're pretty tech savvy, so I would say, you could try the ad and see how it goes.
Okay, perfect.
Is that helpful?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, use that database. You've built the list, so just use the list a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I've got an anonymous attendee saying, "Hey, Luke, what would be a good new store or restaurant opening strategy?" Perfect question. So let me go ahead and actually answer that one. A new store or a restaurant opening strategy. So we actually did this for one of our clients in Minnesota. It's called Nautical Bowls. They're opening a new location. And so there's a lot of different things you can do. I'll share one with you. If you're opening a new restaurant, here's a technique you can use to get a lot of reviews and to build a lot of buzz even before you're open. So this technique would be a contest campaign. The contest could be something like free burgers for a year, right? In this restaurant in Minnesota, we did free acai bowls for a year. And so one winner will win one acai bowl per month for a year. So it's 12 acai bowls. You can decide to do it for like one per week, but either way, it sounds like a really big epic campaign, so people get very excited about it. But for you at the restaurant, it doesn't end up being like too costly at all. You're just giving like one bowl or one burger per month for a year to the winner, which is still a great prize, still a great prize for the winner. And then for people to opt into this thing, you could give them like a point system. So if people opt in with their email and phone number, that's 2 points. Email 1 point, phone number 2 points. If they leave you a review, 3 points. If they follow you on social media, 4 points. And so stuff like that, you can make people get points to increase their chances of winning. And so when you're open, you might already have 50 or 100 really good reviews, and then the market then knows that you're a good place to go to. So I would definitely recommend doing a campaign like that if you're opening a new restaurant, or maybe you even have a new location. If you don't want to do something like that, then all the techniques that we teach around all of our ads and everything, that's good for an existing restaurant. It's also good for a brand new restaurant too. So you can do all those things that we teach, but then also this contest campaign. So for some reason, your name came up as anonymous attendee. So I don't know who asked that, but I hope that's helpful. Abraham, awesome. Contest campaign. Yep. Yeah, the contest campaign is something that's really similar to the stuff that we teach with just like the normal special offers, but it's something a little different, and it can usually build a lot of buzz, a lot of opt-ins. So it's pretty cool. And guys, next week, we just started running some catering ads for one of our clients. So I'm gonna talk with you about some catering ads potentially next week. I'm not sure what I've got some stuff to share next week as well, but I'm thinking I might share some stuff around catering next week, building lead lists for catering and making sure that you're generating some pretty large orders. So that's some good stuff that's coming up either next week or sometime soon. Guys, I got about a few minutes left on the webinar here. So if you have any more questions, let me know in the chat box below. As always, I love jamming with you guys. Appreciate all of you guys for being here. If you got more questions, put them in the chat box below. I think we've been pretty thorough today, so we'll leave it open for just another minute here or so, guys. Awesome, Rafael. Perfect. This webinar recording will be up later on today or tomorrow, so you can access this doc. Again, guys, if you're new to the webinars here, I put a link to the webinar recordings in the chat box. You can go ahead and click on that. Thank you, Elisa. Definitely appreciate your feedback there. Oh yeah, one last thing, guys. I don't usually love asking for for favors from people, but if you're having a good time on these webinars and you haven't left a review yet, I would super appreciate a review. Again, don't usually love asking for favors, but definitely if you're having a good experience here today. I know, Abraham, I asked you for a review before our call. I sent you an email on that. You're getting great results. So, if you guys want to share a couple words about your experience working with us in the webinars here, that'd be pretty cool. I'm following my own techniques here as well by sending you that link. That makes it really easy to leave a review. So if you want to click on that link I just sent you, you can go ahead and do that. No pressure at all, but would love your feedback if you want to do that. Cool, guys. I just put a link down there for the review. If you want to do that, feel free. Besides that, guys, I just wanted to thank you again for being here. These webinars are, for me, they're a highlight of my week. I hope they're a highlight of your week. We're going to be sharing new things all the time. The market's always changing. The market's always evolving. So if you got things that you want help with, you can always let us know and we can create topics to cover. But we've got some really exciting webinars coming on up as well. So guys, that's all for me. I definitely appreciate you all for being here. I hope you have a very good week and a very profitable week. And until next time, we'll see you guys in about 7 days. All right. Cheers, guys. Bye.